Okay, so that's what we're going to have her as soon as she comes here. She's got an hour window between the sweeps, and so
she's actually that's a huge honor that she's doing that during sweeps.
And there she is. Were your ears burning, young lady? No. Because we were just talking about you. Hi, I'm Ralph Fry. Yes, nice to meet you too.
Pleasure.
This is my crew.
Hi.
And this is part of my crew that's behind you on the green screen.
My thing is, I don't ever, if it's breaking news, I'll go in, but as much as I hear on the scanner, you don't go unprepared. So when you told me that I would be interviewing Officer Bailey, my teachable moment is you get as many facts as possible, whatever, the who, what, where, when, because you never know if you're going to go live or whatever. So I called the principal, and she can kind of give me the lowdown.
Well, you know more than we do. Time take, it's pre-recorded, and so...
So it's an as-live show?
It will be as live, but it's really pre-recorded because these kids are supposed to be in their advisor groups. And so this is something that we have to work through sometimes. Okay, so welcome to our set.
Thank you.
There is your set.
Okay.
Okay, and Laura, Brenda, Lauren, you guys make her comfortable. You guys set the set with her now. Let's get this thing ready, okay? Okay, you betcha. I'm sorry.
Good morning, I'm Laura Cavanaugh. I'm the NBC5 anchor, producer, and reporter for your news at sunrise every weekday from 5:30 to 7 a.m. I actually got started a little while ago. It's kind of a circuitous route where I got started. I didn't start as a reporter. I actually started as a Spanish teacher. So the high school whole thing is kind of not unfamiliar to me. But I think teaching is kind of like reporting, as you're trying to get someone's attention, trying to create awareness or educate somebody, and kind of getting them inspired, and that's what reporting does as well. My education, I actually have an undergraduate degree from the University of Michigan in Spanish and Business, and then I got a scholarship through Univision to get my master's degree in broadcast journalism from the University of Southern California. Right on. I worked behind the scenes as a producer in New Mexico, which is actually a larger market than here in Medford. When I went to get my master's in Southern California, that's a hotbed for all things video, all things news, and you really have to take advantage of everything. So I did internships at one of my favorite shows. It was Fox Sports Beyond the Glory. It was kind of a documentary sports kind of thing. I then got a job at ABC News. I worked at Good Morning America, Nightline, and World News Tonight. I worked for Dateline, NBC, and Burbank. So I did the rounds on all the networks, and it was all behind the scenes. And one of my grad school professors said that I should really try in front of the camera to have the whole full experience, and that's what I did. This is my first on-air job here in the Rogue Valley. So to answer Mr. Fry's question, sweeps is another word for ratings. There are 4 major ratings periods in a year where Nielsen or other rating systems, they measure viewers. So actually NBC5 News at Sunrise is one of the top rated in our Rogue Valley in terms of eyeballs on the TV in the morning, but there's ratings periods November, July, and February, and November. And during those times, you want everything. We do extra reports, and what we saw in that Sacred Secret, that was a ratings, a sweeps report. There are actually, it's a random selection of viewers that they actually do diaries. So, yeah. In some markets, they actually have things on the television that measure. In this market, they do diaries where people say, in the morning I watched, Laura and Craig on NBC5, I watched Regis and Kelly on ABC, and then I watched my stories, all my children. To all the kids in video production, I would say just be a sponge, be willing to do anything. That's what we do. I mean, it's not all that glamorous. You might think like, oh, whatever, when you're in front of the camera, but we do everything. Everything that you saw there, they're called one-man bands back in the day, but now they're called multimedia journalists, and that means that you shoot, just like Zach, who's doing it right now. You write, you edit, you do everything. And once you're able to do everything, you pretty much can write your own ticket. It's pretty easy, and at stake is a lunch for 2 to Panda House.
Very cool.
All right, well, as always, this has been your school,
your students,
your people,
and your news.
And your news.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh,
Yeah, classic.